Good day everyone, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick on the ZX Spectrum 48K having a look at a homebrew. This is Indiana Jones and the Fountain of Everlasting Life, which is an unlicensed Indiana Jones game, so we'll see how this plays. Published by M Van Laatum in 2017. It's been created by AGD, which is Arcade Game Designer by Jonathan Caldwell. So as I said, it's an unofficial Indiana Jones game, so not like Temple of Doom or Last Crusade or any of those. So we'll see how this one goes. It's a platformer. I'm quite interested to see this one. So Bora Gora, French Polynesia. What's the year? 1939. Here he is. There's Indy, looking a bit like Jet Set Willy-ish. It moves sort of like okay. It does feel like arcade game design. Now this is it's a nicely designed level. I like the graphics there first of all. If we hit those magenta bush things, we will die. So we don't want to do that. Nice rope there. Control's quite good. Oh, jumping is a little bit unusual, but I think I got the hang of it already. Bit of colour clash when he goes up the ropes. Let's go over this thing. Okay, now I'm not quite sure how many levels this game has got, but it's one of those exploration ones, so it's not single levels. And I do like that each screen, well this screen at least, has got a name. Fortune and Glory. Fortune and Glory. Snake Pit is this one. We need to collect the flashing artifact. So there's one. It looks like some kind of crazy owl. Indiana Jones does not like snakes. Now, the Fountain of Everlasting Life. I suppose it's like the Fountain of Youth, isn't it? But with a much longer name. 2017. Oh, a UFO. The dig site. I don't know if we need to get that UFO out at some point. Bom ba bom 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 ba bom 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 ba bom 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 ba ba bom ba bom bom ba bom bom ba bom bom ba bom bom ba bom. Do your own bom ba boms because there's no music in this game from what I can make out as we go through the snake pit. Bit of green there on the ledge, but that means nothing at all. Can we make that jump? Yes. Right, next screen. Well, it's the dig site. We know it's the dig site. So this looks a little bit tricky. We've got some guard patrolling that UFO going backward and forward, and two crazy fly things that are in league with whoever we're against. There's quite a few games made with AGD. Jonathan Caldwell created that, so it's made quite a lot of games possible. There's a few updates on that and a few variants. Now, what's this artifact? Oh, that's close. So I've got that artifact there. The ladders look a bit interesting. They look like blue coat hangers. Oh, we went green then, so the colour clash is quite bad on those bits. I don't know why when you're miles away, but that doesn't detract from it. It's a quality game so far. Oh, can we... I'm not sure we can make this distance. Are we going to die or can we infinitely drop? No whip here. Oh, I survived. There we go. You wouldn't have thought it possible. Oh, what's going on there? Seriously, we've been making this game for a long time, but not 31 years. Happy April Fool's Day. Is that the end of the game? Surely not. Looks a bit incomplete, this game. R to exit. That looks like it's it. Perhaps the game just plays like a demo. And we've got 5 lives in the bottom left. We scored 30 points. Is it going to go? No, that's it. Oh, I'm surprised. I was starting to enjoy that, but it looks like the game's unfinished. I got this off Spectrum Computing as a recent release, but it looks like, yeah, it hasn't been completed. It didn't really need to be an April Fool's joke. It's a good game there. It reminds me of the movement. It's a little bit like Papyrus, another game created with AGD. Maybe I'd done something wrong, but if that's it, it's yeah. I should have put. Well, I should have kept going and done some few extra screens, I think, 'cause this has got the making of something good. Maybe they was worried about the licensing and getting into trouble with a 5th Indiana Jones film reportedly in production. Let's go this way. Can we get in the UFO there? No. Maybe there's some hidden bits here. So I'm not sure how long this review is going to be then. They always review gameplays to see how you would have played this game back in the day. Because the game is incomplete, I wouldn't have liked to have bought it. I would have liked it as a cover disc demo. So really I've got to look at this as a demo rather than a full game. Is it worth tracking down? Well, I suppose it is, but it just leaves me wanting more. It's often a sign of a good thing, actually, isn't it? A game that wanting you more. But I just need more screens. What we got? About 3 or 4 screens on this thing. If we had about 50 screens, then you're cooking on gas. Can we get over this green guard? Oh, I hit a fly. Hit a fly. I want to get to that UFO. There's no Indiana Jones film so far with UFOs in, is there? There's the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, and then after that, he's just against Nazis all the time. It's Jet Set Willy, Indiana Jones person. Oops. Don't bump into a fly. There's a note for yourself. But for what is there, a really good graphic design. The layout is pretty cool as well. It's a great idea, Indiana Jones: The Fountain of Everlasting Life. But a part of the April Fool's joke is it's not a full game, and I suppose a take on the name. So it's not the Fountain of Youth; it's the Fountain of Everlasting Life. Yeah. Anyway, if you're watching these live as they go up, there will be a video tomorrow. Every Wednesday we tend to do a homebrew. Yeah, it's still April Fool's Day. Well, it's January when this is going up. I presume there's some in-joke there about the 31 years. There we go. So, you know, graphics by and code by M Van Laatum 2017. So what is there is great, but there's not enough there. If you went for an expensive restaurant and you had a really nice meal, but it was just one sausage, you think, hang on a minute, where's the rest of the dinner? And that's pretty much what this is. It's a sausage. Where's the creamy mash? I want the creamy mash as well. I'll eat another sausage. What you're talking about sausages, I don't know. Track this one down if you want, but you won't be spending a great deal of time on it. If I had this back in the kid, as I say, I would have played it a few times as a cover disc, but not buying it as a full game. I love Indiana Jones. Maybe if it had the music in as well, it might lift it. But it's a bit of a shame, this. A bit of a shame. But maybe the author, mind you, it was 3 years ago now, isn't it, at the time? Or 4 years now at time recording. Maybe the author will go back and complete it at some point, or maybe they're a bit busy and onto other projects, maybe on the Spectrum or maybe somewhere else. So I have to find out what else they have done. If you know, then let me know. Indiana Jones can drop an infinite distance. Doesn't look much like Harrison Ford. His head looks very Jet Set Willy-ish. Never mind, So it's inspired by a lot of things. If you have got a bit of time on your hands and want to create a game, check out the Facility AGD by Jonathan Caldwell. There's quite a lot of games that have come out fixed to that, so I think it must be quite easy to use. I haven't really got the time to use it myself, which is a shame. If I could pause time, I would do. But I'd quite like to have a go at making like a platform game a bit like this. I'm sure you have to have a bit of skill, but it takes all the coding away because it does all the coding for you. So I think you just got to worry about the music and the graphics, really. So that's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, if this had come out back in the day, it would have blown people's brains away. You can see that with a lot of the modern day compilers can get more out of the Spectrum than what it could do back in that sort of like era. And it's a good bit of nostalgia. I like playing the new games as well as the old games as well. Obviously, I haven't got the nostalgia for the new games, but I can appreciate what they've tried to do. Spectrum Next is about as well. So hopefully the ZX Spectrum lives forever. This is on the 48K. So do check out the review of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and the Last Crusade. They're not particularly good, so but they're all right as games. They're not really. They're a bit underfunded. Temple of Doom I didn't mind on the Spectrum, but this is probably, well, although woefully short, the best of the three. That's debatable, really. You might have your own opinion on what's good and what's bad. So if you hit any of the magenta bushes, we're dead. If you hit any of the enemies, we're dead. If you hit that green gunk down there, we're also dead. And I'm running out of stuff to say on this game now. There's not too much you can say. Good graphics, sound is, well, minimal but okay. And it's April Fool's Day again, and not much else is going on. That snake is trapped going backward and forward. Looks a little bit like that worm out of Wriggler, which is a pretty good game. So once you get in here, you're sort of like trapped. He's been trapped in here, doomed to die, with a big red pumpkin head. Shall we do another speed run? Well, we're pretty much there. I don't think there's any more speed runs we can do. I'm a big fan of the Indiana Jones films. Like them more than the games, to be fair. Maybe with AGD version 4.6. Occasionally it does get updated there. So long, Jet Set Willy, Indiana Jones type person, and the stuff you have to get. That first item might be the Ark of the Covenant, Raise the Lost Ark. I'm not absolutely sure. So hope you liked having a look at that one. Bit of a shorter review because, well, there's not much of the game to see. That was Indiana Jones and the Fountain of Everlasting Life on the ZX Spectrum 48K, published by M Van Laatum in 2017, made by AGD, with AGD by Jonathan Caldwell. Got any comments about this game, similar games, Indiana Jones, Homebrew, Retro, or anything at all gaming-wise, then please put that below. You're always more than welcome. Until next time, take great care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye.